Try that again. What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, just doing an unplanned Sunday night live stream. Izzy wants to say hello. She actually just wants to get a snack, so I had to bribe her. Oh, we got an echo here. Say hello, everybody. Look, say hello to the YouTube fam. Hi, guys. Now give me my effing snack, Daddy. Is you snacking here? You're not getting away with this. Please say hello. Please say hello. You guys are stopping in there. She's going crazy for this. Get it, little girl. Can you get it? She's like, just give me my shit, Dad. Put me down. All right. All right. All right. Ow, ow. Don't get me. Ow. She's crazy for them snacks, guys. All right. Can you guys hear me all right? Please say hello as you're stopping in here. Please say hello. Sorry about the technical difficulties. It's been a hot minute since I've done a stream. Not too long, actually, but all right. Looks like we've got a few people already jumping in here, guys. Let me see who's in here. Say hello. Say hello. I just wanted to make a video because I thought that some of you might be a little worried about me after that last Wednesday live stream, but I want to let you guys know I'm all right. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Florida man Dan in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, good sir. Jerry says, howdy, we hear you. Is the mic, excuse me, whoa, 11 people in here. All right, is the mic loud enough tonight, guys? Hopefully it's still adjusted from last time. If it gets too quiet, if I'm mumbling, just let me know and I'll speak up. How you guys doing this weekend? You guys have a good weekend? Good to see you, Jerry. Let's see here. Who else is in here, guys? We've got 11 people in here. Please hit that like button on your way in if you could. I was hoping to try to get on here for some different people that have, you know, that usually don't have the time to get on here. I wanted to hop on here on like a Sunday night a little bit earlier than I used to do to try to give some different people some time to get on here and chat if they wanted to. So looks like we have the usual suspects in here already, guys. Good to see the normies hopping in here early. So Marky Rizzo is already up in here. He says, you gave birth to that alien. Uh-oh, sounds like there's some more news I missed out on. I haven't really kept up on the news at all. Is that what you're talking about, Marky, I'm assuming? Let's see here. Oh, Eric, what's up, man? You want to let us know how you've been doing? How's that cold turkey withdrawal going, buddy? I think I was asking about you on the Wednesday live stream, but I don't think you were there. I was wanting to get an update, if we could, on your situation. I've been curious about you, brother. Let's see. Oh, shit. Damn, Marky always got the jokes in here. Yeah, that bump on my stomach. So if you guys haven't seen, or if you have seen yet, so my doctor and I too, I mean, I was just going off of what he said. He thought that he hit a vein as he put my Sublocade shot in. So he thought that I had a hematoma. And it turns out that I don't think that whatever that was actually happened. I think, kind of like looking back on the situation now, I think really all that happened was I got some immediate swelling from the Sublocade shot. And also, I think that the spot that I told him to go into still had a little bit of Sublocade left from a previous injection a few months ago. So that's, if I had to guesstimate on what happened, but the worst case scenario that I thought was going to happen, thank God, did not happen. Like, I was expecting to have a bruise like this big on my belly because I have seen some horror pictures on Reddit and on Google about like a Sublocade infection. So I was really, that's what I was inside. I was feeling that was coming, and thank God it didn't happen. So it's already almost right down to normal looking. There's just a little bit of swelling that still has left to go down. But honestly, guys, it's really not a whole lot different than the last shots. Thank God. I was really stressed about that. I don't know if you guys could tell on my last Wednesday's live stream, but I was pretty bummed about it because I was worried that it was going to be this huge deal. And thank God it turned out not to be really anything at all. So I'm going to keep up on the comments today, guys, I promise. So please keep up. Please keep the comments rolling, and I'm going to go ahead and not let those go too far out. Carrie says, hello, guys. Good to see you, Carrie. Is this a different Carrie or the same Carrie that's always been here? I know we have a couple of Carries on the channel, but I don't recognize your picture. So are you a new Carrie to the channel? So Eric says 9 days in. No, I left early last live stream. Okay, so you were there. All right. For some reason, I don't remember seeing you. So how are you doing with 9 days, dude? Can you tell the group about what dose you jumped off of, as far as like whatever you jumped off of and the dosage? So congratulations to Eric. It sounds like he's pushing through 9 days. Congratulations, man. I'm really honestly surprised. I didn't think you'd get this far. So props to you for making it this far. Please keep us in a loop going forward on your situation. Let's see here. Florida Man Dan, I was actually what do we call it? Ghost listening in on your Friday night stream. Dude, we're literally 10 years apart to the week. Our birthday is literally 10 years. Freaking crazy, dude. When you said your birthday on the Friday night live stream, I was like, what? Dude, exactly 10 years. I got 10 years on you, Junior. So Eric says, I've got some depression, no energy. I surrendered myself finally to go through withdrawal. Well, yeah, I mean, depression and no energy, those are obviously things that you kind of knew were going to come, right? I'm really okay. So he jumped off of 120 milligrams of oxy, dude. That is really, really impressive, Eric. I'm mind blown that you've gone 9 days, dude. Shout out to you. That is badass. You know, I've been kind of bugging you about it for a while now, so I'm really glad to see that you finally made the jump, dude. I'm really proud of you, buddy. Very nice, Eric. Keep pushing forward, bro. Yeah, dude, that's freaking stud mode right there. So you should really be proud of yourself, dude. Oh, okay. So it is the same Carrie. Switch my pick. Is this Carrie R or the other Carrie? Are you the Carrie that's on Sublocade? Carrie's trolling us. Good to see you, Megan. Megan says, Eric, wow, great job. I'm trying to see. It's cool to see that everybody has really got some like profile pictures saved on here, so I can kind of try to get to see you guys and a little bit about you guys rather than just some first initial, right? Dan says, haha, for real, you should have said something. I won't be going live till March 3rd. Yeah, I was going to, but dude, I was freaking cleaning my whole damn house when I was listening to you. But I was there, brother. I was definitely there. I get in this weird mood when I'm cleaning my house. Like, I cannot like stop, or else I get fully sidetracked and I'll be screwed. So like, I just put something in my ear and listen, and then just keep staying at work. So he won't go on live again until March 3rd. Dude, that's cool that you're doing that, though. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that, especially since you're doing it on Friday night. That's a great idea. So Nate, good to see you, Nate, says, Sunday night streams back. Yeah, let's go. Just playing the Sunday stuff by ear. I actually had somebody do a review of my 5-month Sublocade, the little 5-month Sublocade review video I just made. Somebody did a review of that. Do you guys know this person, Narcotic Savant? It used to be Luke GTV. Do you guys know him? He actually did a review of my Sublocade, and he seemed very, I guess he seemed really impressed at all of the knowledge that I have about Sublocade and the half-life and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see somebody else review my video. It's very interesting to see like what other people think of me, like that, like to where I can see them, because you guys can all see me and you can hear me and you guys hear all my deep personal stuff, but I don't get to like see you or see, like to see that on video and hear somebody what they think about what I'm saying. It was pretty different and pretty cool. So shout out to him if he ends up hearing this on the replay. Him and I actually are planning on doing a couple streams together. You guys seen I was looking for somebody that has experience with methadone and Suboxone. And as soon as I seen that he did this review, it clicked that he would probably be the perfect person to have on the channel, because I want to pick his brain about some things. So, and then I told him I would be willing to go on his channel and fill in any questions that he might have about Sublocade, and then also to kind of share my Sublocade experience on his channel as well. That would be cool as well. So should be some collab videos coming in the near future with him, hopefully. Carrie says, no, that's Carrie. We actually have a let's see, I think it's Kari. She's also on Sublocade. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure Carrie R is also on Sublocade. So Eric says, I have been on Oxy for 15 years. It was time already. I was losing time in my life with addiction. You look so young in your picture here, Eric. It's hard to imagine that you've been in that lifestyle for 15 years. How old are you, Eric, if you don't mind sharing? How was that snack, Izzy? Was that a good snack? She's like, snack? Oh, just quick off topic, guys. So I'm finally off caffeine. I did like I guess you could maybe call it like a 1 week caffeine taper. But I am fully off of caffeine now. I've been off of it for 5 or 6 days now. So I was having kind of a hard time with it this time. I kept having like pretty bad migraines, like headaches / migraines, and they would always kick in the afternoon. It was driving me crazy, and it happened like 4 days in a row. So it seems like as I get older, as I get back into caffeine and then out of caffeine, it's like harder to get rid of it each time, because it used to literally only be like a 1 day thing. I would just have low energy, lay on the couch for the day, and then the next day I'll be totally fine. But this time really kicked my butt. So I am fully off of caffeine right now, guys. So shout out to me. I'm gonna go ahead and pat myself on the back, baby. I'm gonna stay up on the comments here. So Megan says, Kevin, saw your video on Narcotic Savage channel today, I think. Yeah, I did. That's what I was just talking about just a moment ago. So that was really cool to see that. I'm really I'm glad he did that video. So I just really want to spread the word about Sublocade, just because I know how big of a life improvement it's been for me personally. And I want to be that guy going forward that everybody thinks about when they hear about Sublocade, right? So just because I know that it's still an expensive medication, not everybody's insurance is going to pay for it. I'm going to make a video about this soon, that Sublocade will be the future of MAT treatment, in my opinion. It's just going to be a couple years, maybe a few years before that happens. As soon as the generic comes out, guys, I guarantee you there's going to be so many people switching to this shot, especially with channels like this and other people talking about it now on YouTube. It's only a matter of time before it spreads out, right, guys? Carrie says, I'm on subs down to 1 milligram, hitting a wall. Yeah, that's definitely a wall right down there around 1 milligram. A lot of people struggle getting below that. So just be patient with yourself. Congratulations to you for getting down to 1 milligram. That's a really low dose, and that's a good dose as well, right? So you should have really low side effects from being that low, hopefully. But if you've got this far down to 1 milligram, keep on going, right? Just be a little bit more patient with yourself as you guys get to the lower doses, as I always try to say. Yes, this Friday I'll be in South Florida. Lucky, palm trees. Yeah, man, I'd be on his lives a lot. Yeah, I seen your comment. That was cool that you commented that. That surprised me, seeing you on his thumbnail. Yeah, I thought like there was some kind of computer mess up when I was like, I seen his face, and then I seen a picture of me next to him. I was like, my YouTube must be jammed up. So I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, there I am. It was a pretty long video too. It was pretty cool. Dan says, oh wait. Nate S says, sup Rizzo, I'm good, day 105. So Nate S is 105 days off Suboxone, guys. Shout out to Nate S for being that far, and for also keeping us in the loop on him. So super shout out to you, Nate S. I know you've kind of let us know as you've gone on about that. So I'm glad to see that you've continued to push yourself, and hopefully things are going really well for you, Nate. I really appreciate that, man. Oh shit, we got a $10 super chat, baby. Kingdom Within, my man, stopping in here. He says, glad to be here, baby. Y'all smash that like button all the way in. Good to see you, Kingdom. Always happy to see you on the channel, my friend. Always happy. Super shout out to you for sending that super chat, buddy. And that reminds me, it's a good time to take a quick break here, guys. I need to give you guys the old disclaimer. Just remember, guys, I'm not a doctor, and nothing on this channel is medical advice. If you are struggling with addiction, please seek out your own medical doctor, guys, okay? Everything on this channel is for entertainment purposes only, and for me to share my experience with you and you to share your experience with us, as we see here in the comments that's happening right now. Also, I wanted to send a shout out to the people who contributed on last week's Wednesday live stream. We had Mama Deb with a $10 Cash App, and also Marky Rizzo with a $5 Cash App. So shout out to all the contributors to the channel. I really appreciate each and one of you. If you enjoy this channel, feel free to send a super chat, a super sticker on the replay, or there are links in the description box to my Venmo and Cash App if you guys feel so inclined to do that. Okay, guys? I would love that. As you guys know, I am a, what do you call it now? I am a monetized channel. That being said, YouTube pays me less than $30 a month in ad revenue. I'm just still really small fry, so it does help the sponsorships that you guys send here and the super chats, and also via those links I mentioned in the description box, guys. So shout out to you guys. I really appreciate your support, both in the comments and financial here with the channel. And I look forward to bringing you guys more content going forward, okay? Oh, shit. We got the man in here himself right now, too. We were just talking about you, dude. Let's see here. Hold on, guys. Let me hurry and get caught up in the comments here real quick. Breaking through the wall, Carrie. Mindset girl. Robert C. says, it's the hardest when people get really close to off. That's when we can try the Sublocade. Just a quick note on that, Robert, is that there are a lot of doctors who are not going to be comfortable with that, depending on how close you guys get on your Suboxone dose. So if you guys are considering the Sublocade shot going forward and you are on Suboxone or buprenorphine products, I would encourage you to have a conversation with your doctor, guys, because if you do get too low on your Suboxone dose, chances are they might not switch you over to the Sublocade shot, okay? And we have another super chat here, guys. You guys, I don't know if you guys know who this is, but Narcotic Savant, he used to be Luke GTV. He's the one I was talking about who made the review video of my Sublocade review video. That was interesting to see a review of a review. He says, what's up, bro? Good to see you in here, man. When did you change your channel from Luke GTV? I don't think I noticed that until I seen your review video of me. I was going to ask you, too, what made you change your channel from Luke GTV? Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you doing that review of my... There were some funny parts of there that had me busting up laughing, too. That shit was hilarious. I appreciate you doing a review of that, and also for spreading the word about Sublocade, because as you guys know here on my channel, I did struggle trying to get off of Suboxone for many years, guys, and it was a very challenging experience to try to get off. Some of you have been able to do it with just tapering or just cold turkey withdrawing, but I know that most people are going to need to do a long, slow taper off of Suboxone. And for those of you who do not want to have to dilly-dally with it, you are welcome to look into the Sublocade shot, and I don't think that you will regret doing that, okay? Let's just say that. I can't say it's going to be perfect for everybody, but for the majority of people that I speak to on this channel, a lot of people are extremely happy once they switch to and get steady on Sublocade, okay, guys? And we had another super chat from Jill. And Jill was on the channel just, 10 days or so ago? She said, I'm learning a lot. Thank you. Super shout out to you, Jill. I appreciate you hopping on the channel on the ladies' night. I know you were the only lady who hopped on, and you were brave enough to do that. So I appreciate you for doing that and sharing your story, and also for that $10 super chat, baby. You guys are being so sweet in here today. I really appreciate the support, guys. It means more to me than you guys know. I really do appreciate that, guys. And as I had mentioned just a moment ago, I am going to be doing some videos with Luke here in the near future, hopefully, because I really wanted to pick his brain about methadone versus Suboxone and kind of deep dive into that. Because I do have kind of an increase of people who talk about methadone on my channel, who they're curious about Sublocade. And so I would like to pick his brain about, because he has experience with methadone and opiate addiction, and also Suboxone as well. So shout out to everybody here. It looks like we have 15 people again here, guys. Please hit that like button on the way in. It does help the channel grow. You know, we're just a small fry around here. Let's see. Okay, so going back to the comments, Marky says, dang, what's that like, Kevin? I need my caffeine. Honestly, Marky, so I've been really focused on trying to make sure that I hit like all my meals during the day. And I noticed that whenever I was taking caffeine on a normal basis, it's the addiction mindset in me to want to push off my first meal in the morning to take caffeine so I get the full effect from it, right? But it was to the point where I wasn't even feeling it. So it was literally just a waste of time. So I was to the point with my caffeine addiction, guys, and I've been to this point many times in the past, to where I'm taking 500 milligrams on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, and I'm still not even feeling anything. So it's literally just a waste at that point. So you're just taxing your body, you're taxing your heart, your organs for no reason at all. So it just seems so stupid to me. Why do I keep doing this to myself? So he asks, what's that like? And honestly, I feel a lot more normal without caffeine. It's interesting to see the difference and to feel the difference. And it's only been just barely less than a week, guys. So I really want to try to stay off caffeine. I know that when I was tapering Suboxone in the past, that it did make a big difference for me to be off of caffeine, just because you have less of the highs and the lows throughout the day. Some people get a huge rush from their caffeine, and then they have the crash later on in the day. The way I look at it is, if you're trying to taper Suboxone, you want to try to simplify your life as easy as possible, right, guys? So if you can easily kick a caffeine habit, in my opinion, I could. Kicking caffeine is much, much, much easier than kicking Suboxone. I could just tell you all that right now. But it's definitely worth it to me, in my opinion. I feel like my body feels better for not having a bunch of caffeine in it every day. I'm not saying it's for everybody. I know a lot of people enjoy their caffeine, but for me personally, I would rather not be on it if possible. So I'm going to do my best to stay off of caffeine from here out, guys. I'm sure I'll have 10 more times of having to come off of it, but it just seems like it gets harder and harder every time. So I would rather just keep my life as simple as possible. Focus on other things right now other than going up and down with my caffeine dose all the time. So he says a lot of different reasons he changed his channel. So maybe when we have him on the channel, I'll kind of pick his brain about that as well, guys. Good to see you, Zach. How are you doing with your micro Suboxone dose? If you guys don't know, Zach is on like a quarter of 1 milligram. And I watched Zach actually weigh these little speckles of Suboxone out on his diamond scale. And I was just thinking to myself, if for some reason this Sublocade doesn't work, guys, I honestly don't know if I have it in me to do what Zach is doing right now. It looks hard, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. You have to be dedicated every single day of your life if you're going to taper down to these minor, tiny doses, guys. And that takes a lot of self-discipline, a lot of self-control, a lot of motivation that I honestly don't think that I have. I don't think I have it in me to go through another low-ball Suboxone taper right now, guys. So I'm really banking on this Sublocade helping me out and slowly tapering me through the long haul, right, guys? Let's see here. It says, so people knew what my channel was about. Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay, that makes sense. Especially while you're starting to grow your channel, you want to kind of get ahead of it before you have this huge following and then change your name. I thought about changing my name on this channel to the Jacked Addict. Somebody had recommended that a while ago. I thought that was kind of cool and unique sounding, but I just left it Kicking Addiction all these years. What do you guys think? Should I change my channel before we get too many subscribers on here, or should I leave it? If you guys have a name you could recommend for this channel for me to switch it to, please drop that in the comment section or on the replay. If we should just leave it Kicking Addiction. I was going to say Kingdom Within because I'm reading his comment. Let's see here. I don't want to get too far behind the comments, guys. I've been stuck in the Suboxone shuffle for years. It is harder to get off than methadone in some ways. Yeah, I seen that comment that you'd mentioned. So that's definitely something that I want to deep dive into you on a video about because you do have that methadone experience. I do not have that methadone experience. So it will be nice to have you on here and to kind of bounce some ideas off of each other. I'm definitely excited to do that for sure. We'll have to get that set up pretty soon, hopefully. It's funny how it all happened too, because I literally on my community tab, you guys seen, what was it, 3 days ago? I was asking for somebody who has experience with Suboxone and methadone and who was willing to come on my video. And then boom, he did a review of my channel, and then I realized he has the experience that I'm looking for. And he's also a YouTube creator. So it's just, that's going to be perfect to have him on here. And he obviously keeps it real just like we do here on the channel as well, guys. He says, yeah, man, you are an intelligent person who analyzes addiction, which I'm all for. Yeah, I definitely analyze it. I probably overanalyze things. I just have such like this OCD-ness about my addiction. Sometimes I think it really slows me down in life to be so OCD about my addiction, but it is what it is. I guess I just am who I am. And possibly it can help some others going forward. He says, I want to talk to you about TRT and Suboxone. Yes, I love to talk about that a lot for sure, because I know that Suboxone, methadone, etc., it freaking kills our testosterone, guys. And I know you're a little bit, I actually think you're quite a bit younger than me. So it might not be as bad of an issue for the younger folks. It seems like people who are maybe in their 20s, maybe early 30s might not have as big of an issue as far as like testosterone, sex drive when it comes to Suboxone and Sublocade, Kratom, all this stuff. But the older you get, the longer you've been on these medications, the more of a negative effect that it will have on your system for sure, guys. And intermittent fasting has helped my opioid-induced constipation. I've never tried that, surprisingly. That's very interesting. I know, who else was it that was talking about that? Was it you, Marky, that was talking about fasting as well? I think Marky was just talking about something like that as well. Send me those leftover caffeine pills, bro. Oh yeah, he says, bro science, laugh out loud. Yeah, that shit was funny when you said that. He was like, bro science. Yeah, you guys know I'm all about the bro science. It's something that I joke about with myself. Mostly it comes from me kind of joking about just how like OCD I am with this stuff. And like I've been in the gym and the fitness industry for so long, and I just do a lot of research as far as the half-lives and stuff like that. And I just overthink this stuff. I know a lot of it is me overthinking situations, but I try to prepare for situations, especially when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, I thought that was funny when you had mentioned that. The bro science in me. Quitting caffeine and nicotine is extremely important for lessening withdrawals. Yeah, I've heard some people say the same thing too about nicotine, and I would definitely agree with the caffeine. Obviously, I don't have any experience with nicotine, so I definitely can't comment on that. But I would definitely, just like thinking about it, if I was a smoker, it would be that much more to have to worry about and think about. So I would definitely try to simplify my life as much as possible for trying to get off of Suboxone or buprenorphine for sure. It's very challenging for many of us. You know, some people out there can just walk it right off and do a cold turkey withdrawal, and there's not many people that can do that. But I did a poll on this channel, and it seemed like it was like, what was it? 30% of people had gotten off of buprenorphine products, and like 45% of people were unable to. And then the other people just haven't used it before. So there are some people out there that are getting off of it, right? So it's cool to see that it's definitely possible. And we do have some channels out there that are getting off and then sharing a little bit afterwards. It just seems like most people, once they get off of Suboxone, they either delete their channel or they kind of go away and then don't post any more videos. I don't know. It's just something I've seen happen for many different channels over the years. And trust me, guys, if there's a Suboxone video out there, I've more than likely seen it. I've spent way too much time watching videos on YouTube. And there is definitely a lack of videos when it comes to talking about Sublocade. That's definitely something that I've noticed. If it goes to show you guys how much I research this stuff, I seen his video pop up within 2 hours of him posting it. And that's how often I'm researching Sublocade. I'll hit Sublocade, I'll do a search by the most recent videos, and boom, his video popped right up. And that shows you guys how often I'm looking for other people talking about this stuff. I seen his video as soon as it came up, and I made a post on his video about it. So I'm always waiting and watching for more people to post videos about even Suboxone too still, guys. As I know that most people on this channel are on Suboxone, but there are a huge, huge amount of you who are switching and have switched to Sublocade. I want to take this time to remind you all, and this could be something, Luke, if you haven't seen this yet, I made a video a while ago. It's in all caps lock. It says the official Share Your Sublocade experience, something like that. You should be able to easily find it with that. And for people who are considering Sublocade, you can go to that video. I think there's now 100 comments on that video. And many people shared what their experience was like. I went through and reread some of the comments today. And I know that, Luke, you're somewhere around 16 milligrams of Suboxone. There was, I think, 1 or 2 people on that video that shared what their experience was like going from 16 milligrams of Suboxone to the 300 milligram shot. And they were successfully able to move on and just stabilize without the oral addiction anymore. So if you guys haven't yet seen that, if you are, let me take this brace off, guys. It's like choking me out. If you guys who have transferred to Sublocade, if you haven't yet left your comment on that video, please go do so. I would like that one video to be one video that many people who are considering Sublocade can go to and read a bunch of different people's comments, what it was like for them, right? Because I can just share my experience, guys. I'm just one person though, right? Robert says, I can relate to the OCD with tapering. Megan says, and sleep is the most important. Yes, sleep is definitely important with this stuff, guys. You want to make sure you're getting adequate amounts of sleep to help you fight your way through the day when you're tapering or withdrawing, right? Carrie says, 3 months in, and I feel like I'm almost going through another type of detox. After 13 years of this medication, now it's really out of my system. It's like a double whammy. Nothing on my receptors. Zach says, good news though. The last 2 nights, I got more than 2 to 3 hours of sleep like it's been for over 2 weeks. See, dude, when I see your videos and I see that you're only getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night, like I really don't think I have the motivation to go through that again. I've done that a couple of times in the past with my Suboxone, guys. I just don't know if I have it in me to go through that again. I'll just be straight up honest with you guys. I'm really counting on the Sublocade to do its job. As I've said to you guys, once you get on autopilot or once you get on Sublocade, you're pretty much on autopilot, right? You no longer control the dose. You don't have to think about your dose every day and how much I'm going to taper myself today. The medication is in you, and it's going to slowly taper you over many months, right? It's going to do it all automatically without your brain having to think about this stuff all day long. I just don't understand why it is this hard now at only 0.025 milligrams for almost 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't understand it either, Zach. I'll be honest with you. I don't. Like, I thought by that dose, because, I mean, what is that? A quarter of 1 milligram? I mean, that's nothing, dude. When I seen your video and you were measuring off these little mini flakes off of flakes, damn, dude, I can't believe how challenging this still is, even at that low of a dose. It really blows my mind. It honestly does. Objection overruled says, I really appreciate your channel. I was on opiates for pain for several years, and I'm off of benzos and opiates for 7 months now, taking LDN. Well, congratulations, and thanks for finding the channel, and thanks for letting us know that you're going through that right now. Hopefully you're doing all right. It's always good to see new people on the channel, guys, and with other small YouTube channels as well, it's always nice to kind of help each other out, right, and say good things about other channels, and we all bring each other to the top. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, right? It's nice to be able to just help and guide other people to other people's channels, right? Other people who have like-minded struggles like ours. I just feel like we should all be positive and all try to bring each other up as a big group, right? Good to see you, Keith. Keith says, hey, everyone, I did 1 shot on 12/28, and my doctor and I have been checking in bi-weekly. On day 48, I did start to feel some very minor symptoms. I was honest to my doctor, and she really thinks it will what? Be easier if I do 1 more. So, Keith, I would definitely agree with your doctor. I think that the one and done Sublocade shot method is definitely not the norm. That being said, I really applaud you for trying to do it. But dude, be real with yourself. If you're struggling, if it's really rough, dude, you've pushed yourself since freaking December 28th, right? Go get another shot. I mean, that's nothing, man. And just know, too, that even if you go get another shot, say tomorrow, you're still going to have a decent dose from your first shot left in you, right? So thanks for updating us as far as the 1 shot situation goes. I know there's a few of you out there who are trying to do that right now. And I appreciate when you guys reach back to me and let me know how that's working for you. There's a guy that I spoke to via my clarity.fm link. If you guys need to have a private conversation with me off of YouTube, you're welcome to do that on the link in the description box. It's called clarity.fm. You guys can do that at any time if you need to have a private conversation with me. But there is somebody that I spoke to, and he went from fentanyl addiction, guys, off of the streets, full-blown fentanyl addiction. He went into a 30-day rehab program. He went right to Suboxone, because you have to stabilize on Suboxone for 7 days before you get on the Sublocade shot, guys, just if you didn't know that. Just to make sure that your body doesn't have any adverse reactions to it. So once you stabilize on Suboxone, your doctor can then get you on the Sublocade shot, okay? So what did he say? He went, I'm trying to remember the dates now, guys. It was 8 weeks. That's what it was. So he took his first shot of Sublocade and went right to 8 weeks. At the 8-week mark, he said he started to feel a little bit of uncomfortable things. I think he said he started to have some loose stools, right? And what's that telling you? That tells you that your bup levels are starting to dip, right? So he took another shot. I believe that's what happened. I'm trying to remember. I talked to so many of you guys about this different stuff. Yeah, he did take another shot, and I'm waiting for an update from him going forward. But guys, to think about that, to go from a fentanyl addiction in 30 days to be feeling great coming out of rehab with a Sublocade shot and getting home and spending Christmas with your family, like, what a huge change in somebody's life that can happen like that, right? As you guys have heard me say in the past, that once you get on Sublocade, it is a whole different level of, what's it called, guys? it's basically like you're locking yourself in to your sobriety, right? Yeah, you could probably still relapse. You'd probably have to kill yourself before you would even feel anything. So please don't try that. Once that shot is in your stomach, guys, you can't just, and this is just like on the video I was talking about on Luke's channel that he reviewed. You can't just pull your Sublocade shot out and go get high on the weekend. Many of you in the past, when it comes to getting stable on Suboxone, have done the flip-flopping. He called it something else. I can't remember what he called it. Where you take Suboxone to get until you get your next fentanyl or oxys or whatever, right? You're flip-flopping back and forth. And you don't want to do that, guys, especially these days with the fentanyl addiction out there. It could kill you. One little relapse with the fentanyl out there. See, back in my day, we didn't have the fentanyl, guys. It was the Oxy 30s, the Roxy Blues, whatever they're called. That's all I ever had access to back in my days, right? And I'm dating myself, obviously, but I've been clean from the Oxy lifestyle since 2017. Thank God I never went to heroin because I could afford to spend $3,000 a month because at the time I was making a crap load of money selling cars, right? So that's really the only reason I never went to heroin, more than likely, because I was too paranoid to put something in my veins and because I could afford to buy as many painkillers as I wanted back then. I was a freaking hustler back in the day, guys. I used to make a lot of money. And that's probably what got me in so much trouble with oxys, right? I mean, I was spending $3,000 plus a month on my addiction back in the day at my worst. So, but yeah, once you guys get that shot in your stomach, you can no longer flip flop, right? You're really committed to your recovery at that point. I had seen Luke he had mentioned something about he was worried about how the transition from Suboxone to Sublocade goes. From everything that I've talked to everybody on this channel, almost every single person, Luke, if you're still here, has made the transition by the time they got their second shot. I think there was only one person that is still needing to orally supplement. And I think because he's been going for only the 100 milligram Sublocade shots when he should likely go towards a higher dose, right? He's trying to kind of lowball his Sublocade for whatever reasons. But yeah, most people, they will successfully transition and get away from the oral dosing in between 0 and 30 days. That's kind of what it seems like the normal is. But I always tell everybody, by the time you get your second shot, you really need to be ready to burn your Suboxone. I made a video throwing 2 full boxes of Suboxone into the fire the first day I got my second shot. So yeah, guys, I just kind of tell everybody like that it is a different level of commitment to go to the Sublocade shot. It really, truly is. And I would not bullshit you guys if it wasn't. I'm going to get back to some comments here. Hopefully I'm not getting too far behind here, guys. Doesn't look like I'm getting too far behind, luckily, today. I feel bad when I get like 20 minutes behind the comments and you guys are like, we're not even talking about the same thing anymore. Let's see here. No. I definitely don't suggest anybody take Tren ever. I don't even, honestly, in 20 years, I've never tried taking Tren, and I've been in the gym lifestyle for 20 plus years, guys. I would not suggest anybody take Tren. I actually have a buddy right now who is new into the gym. 3 weeks ago, he started lifting weights, and he's already on test and Tren and D-ball. Starting out on the hardest, strongest steroid when you're 3 weeks into your newbie gains, like, dude, what are you doing? And obviously, he didn't ask my advice. My friends are telling me what he's taking, and I'm just like, dude, that's like coming onto the street addiction as going right to fentanyl, right? And not working your way up through the opiates. It's just like, that's crazy to see so many people out there in the gym. They'll get a gym pass and they'll go buy freaking testosterone off with their buddy like the same day. And it's just like, there are so many newbie gains you can get, you guys, if you're new into the fitness world. And sorry, I'm going off on something totally different here, but I gained 30 pounds naturally my very first month of working out, guys. All natural, not knowing what the heck I was doing. I was just working out and eating a lot of food. You can gain a lot of muscle naturally. You don't need steroids, guys. Let's see. Robert says, I'm tapering off subs. I'm around 1 milligram. I have Kratom I'm going to take. I don't know if I start the Kratom during the taper or when I'm out. So Robert, I personally don't recommend people switch from Suboxone to Kratom. That's just my personal outlook on it, because I do have experience trying to do exactly that. I found that due to the shorter half-life of Kratom, I was waking up in withdrawals halfway through my sleep. So yeah, I personally don't recommend it, but some people do it anyway. I would say if you're going to try the Kratom route to get off of Suboxone, you need to be below 0.5 milligram per day. We did have Marky's buddy on here talking about how he helps a lot of people off of Suboxone and onto Kratom, and I didn't really like the situation that I tried, but going back now, I guess it appears that you have to take Kratom for much longer than I took it for. I only took it for a month, and I just got sick and tired of waking up in my withdrawals every night with the restless legs at 4 a.m. I was just like, I can't take this anymore, man. I'm getting back on a low dose Suboxone. So I got back on Suboxone. I gave up the Kratom after 1 full month. You guys might have seen a video that I made trying to use Kratom to get off of Suboxone. That was a failed attempt, just so you guys know. And I recommend if people are on Suboxone to just stay the course and keep tapering with Suboxone. Or if you're unable to taper Suboxone, then consider talking to your doctor about the Sublocade shot, guys. That being said, there are people out there who would say that I'm full of shit and Kratom is just this perfect, harmless, wonderful drug. So take it for what you will. That's just my experience and my outlook on the situation. And I always have to give a huge warning with it when it comes to Kratom, because I have seen so many people go off the deep end with it, just because it does hit on the opioid receptors, right? The opiate receptors. So just be careful with it if you're going to do that, and be patient with yourself, because it's not going to, the withdrawal is not just going to go away overnight. You have to be really patient. I would say you're probably looking at 3 to 6 months of really small controlled Kratom use if you're going to try to do that. And that's a guess, obviously, right? I didn't make it that long, but after doing more research after my failed attempt, that's what you would probably need to do. Keith says, I'm leaning towards the second 100 milligram because I have so much going on right now with work. In the summer, I'll have time off. Yeah, that's a good idea, Keith. Honestly, I don't see the problem with doing that, buddy. I would definitely do that if I was you, especially if you're feeling a bit off or like you need it. Only you know if you really need it, right? And it sounds like you know that you do. Luke says, email me, man. Let's do a video tomorrow. What's tomorrow? I'll send you an email in the morning, Luke, and then we'll kind of plan something out, okay? I'm trying to think of my schedule for this week. We'll get a video done soon, though, for sure. This week, for sure. Yeah, I'll send you an email soon, dude. I got your email address. Zach says, that's a quarter. Oh, my gosh. Zach says, that's a quarter. I can't even read this. It's so small. That's a quarter of a tenth of 1 milligram. So Zach is tapered to a quarter of a tenth of 0.1 milligram. Can you guys even fathom how small of a dose that is? That's unbelievable that that's even measurable to that small of a dose. I wonder what the Kratom equivalent to that dose would be, Zach. If I had to guess, I would say it's like 1 Kratom capsule, the smaller ones, maybe 2 at max. Like, it has to be some stupid small dose of Kratom. I wish somebody would come out with, I think Reed had brought it up. He kind of had figured out like the equivalent that you would need going from Suboxone to Kratom. He'd kind of come up with a little, he figured out more than I ever have, that's for sure. I haven't seen a video from Reed for quite a while since he got off of Suboxone. Hopefully he's doing all right. Zach, how long have you been tapering altogether? Zach says 305 days, from 32 milligrams to 40 milligrams per day for over 18 years. I never went without ever. So Zach is one of the original OGs on Suboxone. I know that the Suboxone came out in what, 2002, so he's literally been on it. That's longer than anybody else I've ever heard of on this channel. Also, guys, it looks like we've gone 50 minutes on this video. We're going to try to end this at about an hour. So if you have any final questions or comments, please drop them in there now. If you guys haven't yet, please hit that like button, guys. It really helps the channel grow. And as you guys know, it's been really hard to grow the channel. It's taken me freaking, what, 4 or 5 years just to get 2,000 subscribers. I mean, this is very slow, you guys. It takes forever. I can't tell you how many comments I've answered and replied to, how many videos I've made. It's a lot, you guys. It's been a lot of work to get this channel, even just to 2,000 subscribers. So if you could help me out and hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Oh, okay, now I recognize you, Carrie, from your picture. Okay, I know exactly who you are now. Yeah, your picture totally threw me off when you changed that, so I know exactly who you are now. So that's Carrie S, right? That's the Carrie that sent the huge $100, what was it? Venmo, I believe it was. I appreciate her for doing that as well. Shout out to you, Carrie. Now that I know you're that Carrie. When you guys change your pictures, it throws me off. And I don't remember. I'm like, wait, who's this new person here? Let's see here. I wonder if it's pause that is so hard now and not actually withdrawal because I'm so low. Dude, that's a possibility for sure. And that's really interesting of you to say that. Dude, it could be that. I mean, I don't even see. I'm really curious, Zach. Have you tried to take a bupe test to see if you even are showing positive for bupe? I would think that you're not at this point because you're at such a low dose. I know you and Deb are at the lowest I've ever even heard of. So Robert says, thank you very much. I appreciate your help and advice. Yeah, and like I said, Robert, don't let me get you down on the Kratom idea. If you really feel like it'll work for you, or if you've done more research about Kratom, and you found somebody that has used Kratom to get off of Suboxone, I just know that you have to be on a really low dose of Suboxone to make that a possibility for that to work. Otherwise, you're going to be taking a bunch of Kratom all day just to stay out of withdrawal. So, like I said, I don't ever want to make anybody feel like the plan that they've come up with is not going to work. If you believe in your heart of heart that whatever you have planned is going to work, then go with it, guys. Remember, I'm just one person. I can only share my experience. And what works for me might not work for other people, right? So I don't ever want anybody to feel like down or that I'm like putting down their plan. If you think it'll work, then just do it. I can just share my experience, guys. Let's see here. Many have said it's 6 to 9 months after stopping to actually feel off the subs completely. Like they are still adjusting, only realizing later the difference. That sounds like something Sunny has said before. I've definitely heard Sunny say something like that. Moyer, good to see you. Moyer says, how many cars you got on the dealership lot now? I don't have a car dealership anymore. I closed that when COVID hit. I could not find any more cars to buy. It was impossible for me to fill that car dealership, and a lot of other dealerships around me also closed. So that being said, I have been interested in starting another car dealership. So that is something that might happen in the future. I would like to get back on that because that's like that's what I've been blessed with, is a really good skill to be able to buy cars and fix them up and sell them for a good amounts more. So that's like my thing. Like everybody has their own specialty in life, right? And that's probably definitely my way to go as far as financially goes. He says, depends on the strain. Red vein Mingda is the only one worth it for opioid addiction. So for me, the red vein was what I would always take at night to help me get to sleep, because I know a lot of people will say the red vein is more for like calming, right? Which is, calming is what most people need when they're going through opiate addiction, right? Because you're starting to get all this anxiety and like you're starting to get all these weird feelings and stuff. So I would definitely say that the red vein Kratom is definitely something that a lot of people choose when they come off of Suboxone or opioids, just to keep their anxiety down to a bearable level, right? Whenever I took the white strains of Kratom, that was the one that gave me the most energy. And then for me, the green strain was just kind of like a balance of the two. If you guys can relate to that, let me know. Or if it was different for you guys, let me know as well. Got to watch The Last of Us in 9 minutes. Is that coming on soon? Going from Suboxone to 300 milligrams to 100 milligram shot has been the best for me. Hold on, Harry. I'm a little confused by your post here. There was slight withdrawal at each step, but was way better than the withdrawal of cold turkey. Going from Suboxone to 300 milligram to, I'm assuming that you're meaning 2 300 milligrams and then 2 100 milligram shots, right? That's what most people are going to have their doctor prescribe, just because that's how the drug manufacturer recommends that this medication is administered. Is everybody starts out and see, I definitely don't agree with the way that the drug manufacturer does that, because not everybody's on the exact same dose of Suboxone, right? Yeah, it's just way too basic and copy of a paste thing for me. If I was to go that route, then I would have never been able to get on Sublocade, because my dose of Suboxone was too low. So I'm lucky my doctor was willing to go what we call off-label, and he literally squirt out half of the 300 milligram shot and then gave me only 150 for my very first shot. So Carrie says, missing Deb. Yeah, we're missing Deb up in here. Should be on here on the Wednesday show. Let's see here. Peter says, when on something for so long, it's going to take time. Zach says, I haven't tested. Dude, Zach, you should get on Amazon if you can, man. I've heard that those Bupe tests are literally like $10 for like a pack of 20 or something like that. I'm really curious about that. Carrie says, my pleasure. I know I won't do it again. I'm sorry. I was just bored. Yes. Laugh out loud. Sorry. So yeah, now that I see your picture, I know exactly who you are. I remember I commented on your picture when you changed it recently. "7 years subs for me, crazy. Had a dope habit of 4 years, but subs for 7, great." Laugh out loud. Definitely better be on Suboxone than be on this fentanyl stuff. I definitely got to say that. If anybody's out there on street drugs and they're worried about having to get off of Suboxone in the long haul, at least you'll be alive to taper, right, guys? There's so many people that are just dropping dead from this fentanyl addiction on the streets right now that it's definitely not something to mess around with, guys. And as I've said before on this channel, the #1 goal of this channel right here, Kicking Addiction, is not for anybody to rush off of Suboxone or try to race off of Suboxone. My #1 goal to help people on this channel is to not relapse and die, guys. Take as long as you need to on Suboxone. You know, in your heart of hearts, in your soul, when you look in the mirror each day, if your Suboxone career needs to come to an end. Only you guys know that, right? Your doctor can help guide you and say maybe he thinks you should start tapering or not. But at the end of the day, it's the person that you see in the mirror that is going to be responsible for telling you when it's time to come off of Suboxone, right? Hopefully you have some sober time to where you're not worried about going out there and relapsing. Or you can just go on Sublocade and not worry about it, because then the choice is really pretty much taken out of the equation, right? If you're worried about going out there and relapsing and dying, go get a Sublocade shot, and then you'll know that you're just blocked. You can't just stop taking Suboxone for 2 or 3 days and then go out there and have yourself a good time on the weekend. I just don't want anybody to try rushing off of Suboxone, guys, and then going out there and having a slip up or a relapse and then dying, right? That's the last thing I ever want to hear about. I know that almost everybody probably watching this has lost a family member or a friend to addiction, specifically opiate addiction, right? So that's the last thing I want to do is push anybody to get off of their Suboxone, just because, as I made that video, guys, there's no trophy for getting off of Suboxone, right? We're still going to have life issues to deal with once we do get off. Life goes on, right? Let's see here. True, great point. Let's see here. Please kick it. I've lost all my friends to heroin. Yeah, I personally have lost about 10 different friends. And this was back in the day, guys, when it was actually real heroin, right? I really don't have any friends anymore to lose these days. So I can imagine that the younger crowd out there right now, people like Florida Man Dan, right? He's a younger guy. He probably knows of a lot more people dying in today's world from these fentanyl drugs, right? A lot of the younger generation people are seeing a lot of deaths right now from fentanyl. I just don't have any actual real life friends anymore outside of the gym. I have a bunch of gym bros that I'm friends with, right? But as far as anybody that I actually hang out with, I really just keep my life as simple and small as possible, guys. This YouTube channel is definitely, you guys know more about me than my own family does. So for what that's worth, you guys. I just hate to like bog my family down with my issues, right, guys? You guys know how it is, right? I'm supposed to be like the tough guy in the family, so I just hate to like tell everybody like all this crap I'm struggling with. Subs are rough to get off of, but I'd rather be on them for life than take anything else ever again. The biggest fear is running out of subs and not getting them in time. Yeah, I mean, when I was on Suboxone, that was always a massive fear of mine, Eric. I could definitely relate to you. And that's just another reason, guys, why Sublocade is such a good upgrade when it comes from being on Suboxone, right? You never have to worry about that situation happening, ever. You could go out of vacation for 2 months and not have to worry about taking your Suboxone once that whole time, once you're on the Sublocade shot, right? You never have to worry about getting locked up and getting a DUI, right, and withdrawing for the weekend. Or you never have to worry about going on vacation and having your boyfriend or your girlfriend seeing you with these little wrappers and putting crap on your tongue. Like, never have to have your family explain. Like, there's just so many different things, guys. How Sublocade makes your life so much easier, so much freaking easier. You don't have to think about this stuff anymore, or running out, or using your prescription too soon and then running out. I've seen that happen a lot on this channel. Some people do get, what is it called? What's the word for it, guys? Some people do use Suboxone recreationally. That's just a fact, right? And those people that do that get it prescribed, they're going to run out early. And what's going to happen when you run out early? Major stress and anxiety, right? And I hate for anybody to have to go through that. Kingdom Within says, this is why the ultimate trophy is salvation. That's awesome, Kingdom. I agree with you, man. I really love your channel too, dude. If you guys haven't seen Kingdom Within's channel yet, if you're into religious stuff, if you were on your path one day with Christ and maybe you lost your path, go check out his channel. He's right here in the messages. Kingdom Within. He's got a really good channel when it comes to religion stuff, guys. Please check it out. Let's see here. Sorry. Oh, what? Deb is sick or what? Sorry to hear she's not feeling well. I've been there over these last few weeks and had some setbacks. We just have to keep moving forward, like she always says, low and slow. I might have missed somebody's comments. Zach says, I'm like Kev. I don't ever want to feel this again. Yeah, dude, you've been pushing hard, Zach. So I can tell, dude, that once you get off, you're never going back. I can tell, I can see it in your face how committed you are to this. And Zach's over there running his family, running his business. I mean, he's just kicking ass in life. And every time I watch his videos and see everything that Zach is going through and like able to run, I just feel like a chump, honestly. Zach, you were actually the reason that when I went in last time, I was like, dude, the least I could do is lower my dose to 75 milligrams, right? So that's because of Zach. I was just going to get another 100 milligram shot like I have been doing. And let me talk about my Sublocade stuff for just a moment, guys. But when I seen Zach's like huge freaking kicking ass over there with his little speckle video, I was just like, dude, the least I could do is keep lowering my Sublocade dose. If he can be over there doing quarters of a milligram, then I'm just going to go ahead and chalk a little bit off my dose right over here. And that is actually something I was kind of bummed about too, guys, because as you guys seen, if you guys haven't seen yet, so I've been basically, and I'm going to make a shorter video about this for the people that don't want to watch an hour plus live stream. There's actually 2 ways to taper Sublocade, guys. It's either by time or by dose, right? So if you guys, if this is your first video of me talking about Sublocade, I'll just give you guys a quick rundown of what I've done. I've now had 5 shots in total. My first shot was only 150 milligrams, which is half of the recommended starting dose, right? The doctor's Sublocade recommends everybody starts at the 300 milligram shot. Since I was at a lower dose of Suboxone, I talked to my doctor to go off label. I told him why I didn't want that full 300 shot, right? Because it would take my bupe levels way too high for what my tolerance was at. So I started 5+ months ago at 150 milligrams of Sublocade. My second shot was at 4 weeks. I took only 100 milligrams for my second shot. And my third shot, I pushed out an extra week. So I went 5 weeks for my third shot. That was also 100 milligrams again. My fourth shot, I pushed an extra week. So I went 6 weeks between doses. And then my fifth shot that I got last week was 2 full months between doses, guys. And I also lowered my dose to 75 milligrams. Okay, so in total right now, I've been on Sublocade for over 5 months. And in that 5-month span, I've still taken 525 milligrams, right? Which it might sound like a lot, but when it comes to Sublocade, most people are going to have 600 milligrams within their first 30 days because of the first 300 shot and the second 300 shot that you're going to get in 30 days. Most people are going to get a huge spike, right off the gate from 600 milligrams of Sublocade. That's the copy and paste Sublocade diet, right? That's what many doctors out there are going to do, is they're going to start most of you on 300. So as I just said, guys, I'm pushing out each dose further, and my last dose I even lowered down to 75 milligrams. It was literally like that much in the syringe. It was a very small dose. So that's kind of where I'm at, guys. Yeah, I don't want to go into my situation too long. But things have been great ever since I got on Sublocade. I don't have to think about taking Suboxone all day long. I got out of this Suboxone daily grind is what I call it, right? Because for me, it was a grind to have to think about my Suboxone all day. From the moment I woke up to the time that I went to bed, I probably thought about my Suboxone, guys, and I'm not exaggerating this, probably more than 30 times every single day. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. Maybe it's not that bad for you guys, but Suboxone was constantly on my mind. How much of a dose should I take? Oh, should I take a little extra to feel that little extra boost today? Oh, can't do that. It's going to mess up my taper. I better push myself. Like just that kind of crap all day long was what I would always think about, guys. And like I said, I'm not sure if you guys are that OCD. Maybe you guys are worse. Some of you might be worse than I was. All fentanyl overdoses from being laced with a blunt. Laced with a blunt. I don't know anything about that. How should I start tapering subs, Courtney? Courtney, there are a lot of channels on YouTube. You can just do a quick search for tapering Suboxone. I don't know what dose you're on, but there are so many videos on YouTube. Go through and watch a few different videos if you can. And yeah, it's usually easier to come from the higher doses, and then the closer you get to 0, the harder it gets, guys. So I've always told people in the past that tapering Suboxone is basically 2 separate levels, right? Level 1 of Suboxone tapering is going from 32 milligrams to about 2 milligrams, maybe 3 milligrams. That's level 1, right? When you get to level 2, basically meaning the harder part of tapering Suboxone, it's going from like 2 3 milligrams down to 0. And specifically, the closer you get to 0, the harder it's going to get every time you taper down, guys. So just some things for you guys to think about. I don't know where each of you are at with your Suboxone taper. Most people can go from like 24 milligrams to 60 milligrams like instantly and not have any problem, right, guys? Remember that Suboxone has what they call a ceiling effect. And so it really only does so much when you keep taking more and more and more, right? We're never truly satisfied until we end up hurting ourselves, right? This is why I subscribe to Kicking Addiction, because I have hope and faith in those who are trying to do the right thing. Kingdom Within always coming in with the thoughtful, awesome comments on that stuff, guys. And I seen a really good comment that Robert Wharton left on Matt's recent video. Oh, what was it? I wish I could remember it, guys. It was such a cool. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, guys. Sorry, I thought this was such a cool comment. I'm going to bring it up real quick. It's going to take me a second. So shout out to Robert Wharton if he sees this. It was a really cool comment. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Of course, I can't find it now. Here we go. It's probably this one right here. All right, here's the comment. So this was on Matt's video. And Matt was really struggling recently. And Robert said, "It's your mind playing tricks on you, bro. I'm going through similar negative thoughts." This part right here, guys. He says, "One thing that makes me motivated to stay the course is, what if getting clean is the only reason we are here in this life? And when we, when we die, we find out if we passed or failed." Isn't that such a different way of thinking? And when I seen that comment, I was like, dude, that is like something I've never really thought about that before, because almost everybody that I have known in life, guys, has struggled with some sort of alcohol addiction or opiate addiction. And damn, dude, like addiction, mostly alcohol addiction, has ruined so many of my family's life, guys. And it has sucked. It has fucking sucked to see so many of my close family members take a huge L with alcohol addiction, guys. It sucked bad, so bad. I've seen so many super potentially people that just had such high hopes in life, right? Such bright people. They were so dulled by their alcohol addiction to where that's really all they became, was their alcohol addiction. It was such a huge part of their life, right? And then also, I think that's why I never really got too far into alcohol addiction, was because I've seen so many people struggle with it. And then lo and behold, I go off of the opioid addiction. Addiction just sucks, guys. I don't know. Sorry to go off on that. Let's see here. My doctor is going to switch me over next month because me and my wife are going to Europe for 3 weeks to Sublocade. I think I've seen your comment, Eric. Hopefully that works out for you guys. I would say make sure that you get your shot at least a few days before you go, so you can have a little bit of a time to like stabilize on Sublocade, right? Because some people, like, their first week is a little bumpy, specifically the first few days, and then most people kind of smooth out from there. So I'll be interested to hear how that goes for you and your wife, Eric. Keep me in the update, buddy. Courtney, go to 2 milligrams as quick as you can, then low and slow for a year. Subs are popular in jail. It's sad. Dang. I wonder how people sneak that stuff in there. Kicking Addiction, you're too kind, my bro. You're too kind. I'm glad you're still hanging out here with us too, Kingdom. It's really kind of cool too, because I've made friends with many of other YouTube creators who have like similar sized channels, right? And it's really cool to see. I don't know, like I'm just really excited to see what happens in the future when all the small fries like keep going at it, and just like, because you know how it goes, like it starts to gain momentum. And then like you see Nicole's channel, like I've been following her since she was maybe 1,000 subscribers, and she's at like 23,000 right now or something crazy like that. Like she just shot up hardcore. So she definitely worked her ass off, and it's really cool to see like what's possible when you stick to it. And I know that for many people, it takes years and years and years to gain traction on YouTube. And I'm definitely one of those people. So hopefully you guys will remember when this channel was just a little freaking 200 subscriber, my goofy old videos. Like sometimes I go back and laugh at the videos that I used to have. I seemed really shy on here. I remember you said not too many people have gotten the shot from being on 2 milligrams or lower. I'm about to get on 100 milligrams, and I take a little less than 2 milligrams a day. Wish me luck. I'm scared. Yes. Typically speaking, doctors are going to want you to be on a higher dose before they're going to start you on Sublocade. That being said, I think that going from 2 milligrams a day to the 100 milligram shot, that'll be a great transition for you, Jay Bay. I wouldn't stress too much over it. Just be ready to feel normal. As I tell all you guys, once you switch to Sublocade, you're never going to feel your dose kick in again, okay? You might feel it for the first day or two as your body is trying to normalize and adjust to the dose. What I mean by the dose is the slow, steady stream. But after 2 or 3 days, you're not even going to feel like you're on anything anymore. So don't let that freak you out to make you think you're going into some sort of withdrawal. Your blood levels will be higher when you're on 100 milligrams of Sublocade than they are right now at 200 milligrams. If you were to take a blood test, I guarantee you, I've looked at the charts, I've studied this stuff, guys. Just because you don't feel it kicking in and out doesn't mean that it's not there in your blood, right? Keeping you out of withdrawal. How you know you're in withdrawal is you're getting restless legs or you're crapping your guts out, right? Those are the 2 telltale signs of opioid withdrawal. And I don't think that that's going to happen to anybody who switches over to Sublocade. And if it does, it's going to be a very rare occurrence for that to happen. Brooke. Oh, Brooke, I think I seen your comment earlier on his channel as he was doing the review. Let's see. Yeah, it's so mental too. I would have never guessed how in the beginning of the shot it would be this mentally draining. I actually miss strips. So strange. I use them as an emotional crutch, clearly. Yeah, Brooke, I think I've seen aren't you barely starting on Sublocade like today or yesterday, Brooke? I'm pretty sure that's you. You were the one that was on Luke's channel commenting earlier, right? Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay, sorry guys, I was going to try to limit this to an hour, but I'm enjoying this conversation. So as you guys know how we do it here, we always go longer than planned on the live streams. So yeah, so let's see here. So that is you, Brooke. Okay. That reminds me of Carrie R, I believe who it was. She recently switched to Sublocade from Suboxone, maybe not recently. I think it was like 2 or 3 months now. And she was really kind of struggling her first month. She was really missing her Suboxone, right? She said that her brain kept telling her, okay, it's time for me to take my Suboxone. And once she got her second shot, I think is when she really steadied out, and she really, she was like, what the heck? I don't feel anything from this Sublocade shot. But that's what I was trying to tell her, is that you just feel really normal once you get that shot. And for a lot of people, they've never had that normalcy, especially while being on Suboxone, right? So it can throw people off guard. And honestly, every day that you can go, Brooke, without taking an oral dose, you should chalk that up as a win. And every day it's going to get a little bit easier and a little bit easier to not think about taking Suboxone. Okay. For me, my first month was a little more challenging for me because I had a stockpile of Suboxone. So I had the little devil on my shoulder telling me, hey, what would it be like to try that Suboxone while you're on Sublocade, right? So if you have the medication, if you have access to the medication, I would say 99% of you, you're gonna take that at some point during the first month, right? So many doctors are just cutting people off, and some people have mixed feelings about that, right? I personally don't think that anybody needs any more oral doses once they get that shot in their belly, but that's just how I look at it. And that's after going through the experience that I went through, because if my doctor would have kept giving me prescriptions for more, then I would have probably filled them and used them, right? So by the time you get your second shot, if you're still, let's just say, some people will orally supplement for their first month. And then, main part of it is mental, for sure, right? So just try to push yourself through as hard as you can. And each day that you can go without taking anything orally is gonna pay dividends when it comes time to get your second shot. You're gonna be smooth sailing. I really feel like a lot of the healing is done once we move on from the oral addiction. That's when you just kind of go on with your life and you stop thinking about Suboxone all day. My phone is just about to die here. Hold on a sec, guys. Shout out to Kingdom Within. He just sent another $20, guys, to this channel. And he sent, he says, I love this community, brother. And shout out to you, Kingdom Within. Dude, you got to. He says, love this community, brother. And he says, nuts. He sent $20, guys. I really appreciate that, dude. I really do. To my Venmo. If any of you guys feel like you would like to contribute to this channel, there are links in the description box of all my videos. Venmo and Cash App are usually the best ways because YouTube does take about 50% when it comes to super chats and super stickers. But either way, guys, if you feel like this message resonates with you, if you enjoy this, feel free to do that if you're in the position to do so. But please don't ever feel like you guys need to or have to. It does really help. It really helps the channel, guys. It really does. Okay, so shout out to you, Kingdom Within. I appreciate you for doing yet another $20 Venmo. I really appreciate that, brother. Look at the support he's showing up in here, guys. That is incredible. I really appreciate that, man. Showing the love tonight, baby. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that when that came through? It was like, ka-ching. I tried to stop the shot and I felt withdrawal a few weeks after trying to get off of it. That's just me though, Amy says. So can you give me some more info on that, Amy? Because that doesn't even sound like that makes sense unless I misunderstood your statement. Because there's no way that the shot can wear out within just a few weeks. That's absolutely not even really possible, honestly. Are you saying that you got like a shot and then many months down the road, you only got one shot? How many shots did you get, Amy? We need a lot more details to that situation. I'm not trying to say that your situation isn't true, but there's a lot of information that would need to come with that statement, I would say. How many shots did you get? What doses did you take? Joshua Matthews coming through with a $5 Cash App, baby. Shout out to Joshua Matthews. I really appreciate that. He says, thank you for what you were doing. Let's see. So I'm going to start over again, guys. Thank you for what you're doing for people, us. Shout out to you, Joshua. I really appreciate that. It's cool to see your picture on here. That's a good beard too, my friend. I can see your picture on here. Coming out with the beard, gang. Shout out to you, Josh. I really appreciate that, my friend. Hold on a sec here, guys. So Joshua, what's your name here on the channel? I don't see your name on here. Some people's names are different than their Cash App names. I can see your picture here though. Oh, okay. So J-Bay, that's Josh, right? Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Joshua Matthews. Okay, so now I start to remember this stuff. Like I'll start to remember who you are, and like the pictures go with who's who. Okay, so going back through. So let me go back to Josh's comments here real quick. I'll make sure I didn't miss any, guys, since he sent that Cash App, baby. Let's see here. I feel a huge part of this drug is just for our mental state with emotion and anxiety, more so than anything else the drug does. It almost reminds me of an antidepressant. Yeah, a lot of people do say that. I've heard that as well. Yes, I've definitely heard people's. In fact, I remember when I got back on Suboxone, I actually made a video that says, it was something like, got back on Suboxone for depression, or it was something like that. And I was super freaking depressed, guys. And so I got back on Suboxone. It was actually the time when I was off Suboxone the longest. I did make a video about depression and Suboxone. Brooke says, positive is I'm ready and done with them. Positive, I'm ready and done with them. I want to know who I am off this crap. I'm 41 and I don't want to be 50 on this crap. I'm 41 as well, so shout out to you, Brooke. And I feel the same way that you do. Yeah, I don't want to be in this lifestyle. I've been in this lifestyle long enough, guys. Like, I'm just honestly like, I think that you'll find that there's a huge amount of peace, Brooke, that you'll get once you can just go on with your day and you don't have to even think about this stuff. I like to tell a lot of people who get on Sublocade that you're now on autopilot, right? Let the medication do its job. You no longer have to do the job every day, right? With your brain power, you no longer have to measure your dose and try to taper this little dose and that dose. And oh, whoops, I took a little more than I should have, because I don't want to go to this work meeting. So I took a little bit more Suboxone, right? You no longer have those issues to even think about. So just enjoy your Sublocade ride. Let the medication do its job. You'll find that once you stabilize on that and you stop the oral addiction, it shouldn't take you long, really, honestly. And you'll feel that you find a huge sense of freedom just in that alone. Even though, yes, technically you are still on buprenorphine, you start to rewire your brain to get out of that addiction mindset, right? And that's definitely what Sublocade helps a lot of people do. So when it comes time for that medication to slowly come out of our system in the future, we're not even thinking about our daily addiction anymore, right? So I know that for me, whenever I got off of Suboxone in the past, it was instant anxiety because I knew what withdrawal felt like, right? So you're waiting for that impending doom. As soon as you stop taking Suboxone, the Reaper's coming, right, guys? We all should know that by now, hopefully. So we just know, hopefully you guys know that you can't just get off Suboxone and walk away and there's just nothing to pay, right? There's a price to pay to jump off of Suboxone, cold turkey especially. If you taper, then obviously you've kind of earned yourself a lesser withdrawal, and it sucks that this has to be such a thing, right? It does suck, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it sucks. I will say, I'll tell you all right now, and I've said it 100 times on this channel, Suboxone saved my life. It saves a lot of lives. It's undeniable that Suboxone saves people's lives. But yes, it sucks to get off of. We all know this by now, hopefully, right, guys? I started Suboxone while on probation and used it as a crutch, knowing if I ever went back to jail, I would still be able to use it and be good. But if I didn't have a script, then jail would have been harder. Yeah, dude, I would be freaking scared. I would have been real scared. Like, isn't that like most people's worst nightmare, to like opiate addiction people, like to go into jail and to have to not only be locked up against your will, but to have to suffer withdrawals? And I've seen a lot of people say that that's the only way that they got off, right? Because I just try to envision that, and that would stress me so bad, you guys. I would freaking lose it. I'm gonna knock on wood that that never happens, because that sounds so scary to me. Eric says, I remember your car videos. Oh, you see my car channel? Yeah, I miss making car videos. I miss making motorcycle videos too on my other channel. I'll probably start making more R1 videos as soon as summer comes back around. I can't wait to be able to ride my motorcycle again. That's how it starts, knowing you want off. You can do it. And Marky Rizzo is coming up on just about a year off of being off Suboxone, guys. So we're actually going to do a live stream with Marky and Sunny S, who now has like 2 years off Suboxone. So there are people out there who have successfully moved on from this lifestyle and this medication. And he continues to keep coming back here, showing his love in the channel, moderating the channel. And it's just, he's one of those people, guys, that is here to motivate, right? He's done this. He knows what it's like to go through this stuff. And many of you probably didn't know this, but he actually did a live stream with me. Gosh, that must have been, how long ago was that, Marky? Maybe 6 months ago now? Probably 6 months to a year. So yeah, it's fun to be able to have my people get on here and do live streams with us as well. I love that. I tried, let's see, I already read that. So he says, I'm so happy I found this guy and this group. Sheesh, it's not many willing to talk and be positive about this stuff. Yeah, that's definitely, I definitely agree with you. Like, I've searched YouTube high and low for channels just like this, right? And it's pretty damn hard to find. You can find them here and there, right? But as far as like mainstream big ass channels, like I guess the one is CG Kid. He's the one that like kicked everybody's butt, right? And his videos are incredible. And if you guys haven't seen his channel yet, go check him out, CG Kid. His last video specifically, guys, about what he learned, not his last video, it's maybe two videos ago. Go check it out, guys. It's something like, it says, what I learned in my addiction or something like that, in my addiction recovery. It was like 2 videos ago. Probably one of the best addiction videos I've ever seen, guys. And I've watched way, way, way too many videos like this on YouTube. And that was definitely one of the best addiction videos I've ever seen. And it's literally only like 15, 20 minutes. If you guys haven't yet seen that, if you don't know who CG Kid is, go check out his channel. So, okay, so Brooke says, right, it's got to be a mental habit. I'm pushing through. Same. I have some in my cabinet. So really take note of that, Brooke. And if you could please go just recall my experience. Knowing that you have that, you're going to have this little devil on your shoulder. Maybe you're going to have an off day at work or something like that. And it's going to be like, hey, I could reach for that Suboxone. I have it in my cupboard. And just note to yourself, Brooke, that if you do that more than once, if you do that once, twice, 3 times, then you likely will have to do what I did. And I made a video where I threw all my Suboxone in the fire. I burned out every little last one of them. And the feeling that I felt once I threw those in there and just literally sat there and watched every one of those films burn in the fire, it was such a relieving feeling. Such a relieving feeling, you guys. If you haven't seen this video, you can scroll back through my videos. The thumbnail shows green strips. They're like on fire. You'll see me just chuck them all into the fire, guys. I did that on the day that I got my second shot. Why did I do that? Because I knew that I would keep reaching for those oral doses. I knew that. I just knew that because it was so ingrained into my brain to use that as just like some kind of crutch, like somebody else was just mentioning. So if you find that you're doing that, Brooke, set yourself a date. I usually suggest when you get your second shot, because that's when you're going to start to know what you're going to feel like on Sublocade. You're going to be ready to let that crutch go. But if you can do it sooner, many people do it sooner before they get their second shot. They just don't even want to dilly-dally with it. Tell your doctor you don't want any more, you don't need any more, you're ready to move on. Because if you keep asking for more, you're going to keep getting more, and then that's going to keep you buying to the addiction, right? I used to think about that all the time. If the world ended, I can't save my family being sick. Thanks, Marky, for your experience and your support. My doggies. Yeah, I'm dead if the grid goes down. Even with all the food and guns I have stashed, I'd be mentally weak if I didn't have a script or access. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, and I also felt that way for a long time. You know, like from day one, you guys, when I went to the doctor to get my prescription, I was literally in that like stash stuff aside for the end of the world situations, right? And I did exactly that. I just kept piling more and more. And I hate to admit that, but it's the truth, right? Like you're so afraid to run out of your medications. And that sucks to have to be so afraid to run out of your addiction medication. But it's a huge thing, right? Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of them. I think it's adding to my temptation. Yeah, and it will continue. It will keep doing that, Brooke. I promise you. Especially once you start to stabilize on your dose, and you get that normal feeling that I talk about, and you just feel normal, and you're gonna miss that little rush or whatever it is that you felt when your Suboxone would kick in. For most people, it's a boost of energy. Some people feel a little euphoric. Some people feel like a Xanax feeling. That's mostly what I always felt. I just wanted to lay down on the couch and chill. But you might start to miss that at some point during your Sublocade experience. More than likely you will. And then that's when you're gonna have to pay attention to your little devil, and you're gonna have to throw those babies in the fire like I did. Go search for that video on my channel if you haven't seen it. You probably haven't seen it yet. I think you just barely found my channel from Luke's video today, probably, but does it even do anything when you take the strips when you're on the shot? So yes, it does. For me personally, it just kind of felt like what it felt like when I would take them when I was not on the shot, right? So basically what happens is your receptors are already like pretty much filled up, and then you just get like a spike of dupe, right? Is kind of what happens. And I would say that for me, it was like, it didn't feel as strong as it did when I wasn't on the shot, but it still changed my my brain chemistry. I could feel it kick in, right? And let me tell you what happened when I did that. All 3 times that I took Suboxone during my first month of Sublocade, I felt so guilty for doing that. It was like, why did I do that? Every time that I did that, guys, all 3 times that I took Suboxone during my first month of Sublocade, I felt so guilty. I felt like, what the hell am I doing? I'm not taking my recovery seriously. And I really wasn't, honestly, because it's like, I know that I didn't need that, but it's like, you don't know what you don't know, right? For you guys that haven't yet experienced Sublocade, you don't know what I'm saying until you experience it. So you guys will have to learn your own lessons. Hopefully me telling you this stuff can like set off warning bells in your head. If and when this does happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But if you guys notice you reaching into your Suboxone box to get Suboxone when you're on Sublocade, that should be a red flag for you. Does working out waste the medicine faster too? No, absolutely not. I have always been a huge fitness freak, and I work out 5 times a week. And this medication still, my last shot, I skipped 2 full months and I felt no different. I'm confident that I could have definitely went further, but it's just like I just said a minute ago, right? We don't know what we don't know. So until I experience going 2 months between shots, I don't know that I'm going to be totally okay, right? And you guys will likely have to. I've seen a lot of people who are doing what I'm doing just behind me, right? They're taking my information and using that towards their recovery. Now, I don't recommend everybody do exactly as I do. Obviously, talk to your doctor about your recovery, but people are seeing that I pushed my dose 2 months, and so they're like, okay, cool. We're not going to go into withdrawal after 4 weeks. Just because they prescribe you to go in every 4 weeks doesn't mean that the medication is gone in 4 weeks. That's not even close, guys. Trust me. If you understand how the half-life of this medication works, it takes 45 to 60 days for half of the shot that you took to be gone, okay? And then another 45 to 60 days for half of that dose to be gone, etc., etc. So I've made videos talking about the half-life of these medications, deep diving into this bro science stuff, I like to call it. Callie Love in the house. Damn, good to see you, Callie, coming here near the end of the stream. I haven't seen you for a minute, though. Good to see you. I'm tired a lot on the shot. Is that normal? So, okay, I have a question for you, Brooke. When you took high doses of Suboxone, did you get tired or did you get energized? Because that's where it's going to be really different. See, for me, if I get tired on the shot, that means my levels are high, right? But some people are reversed from that. Some people get a lot of energy. So I would assume, and my guess, okay, so when you took a lot, you got energized, but you're tired now, right? What dose did you come from and what dose did you take? Like, did you go from like 16 milligrams of Suboxone to the 300 milligram shot? Eric says, thank you for being so honest and open with us, man. Yes, I love to share all the deep, dirty details here on this channel, guys. So, and I do that for a reason, so you guys can kind of know what you could possibly watch out for, right? Because a lot of the stuff is not talked about. A lot of doctors have no idea that half the stuff even happens. Unfortunately, just because the doctors prescribe these medications doesn't mean that they know each and every little side effect, right, guys? And we wouldn't expect them to. They're still humans after all. They can't know a million things about a million different medications. So keep that in mind, guys. When we're talking about doctors, just remember that they too are people, and they don't know every single side effect and how it's going to feel because they haven't taken Suboxone, right? They haven't taken Sublocade. They haven't been in opiate addiction like we have. I like that. Peter says, when you start getting hot and cold flashes and goosebumps, you'll know you've started to go into withdrawals. And yes, I would agree with that. And also restless leg syndrome. If you're trying to sleep and your legs start burning and they're aching and they feel like they're on fire, that's a telltale sign that your buprenorphine levels have went too low. And also loose stools when using the bathroom. That is also another telltale sign that you're starting to go into withdrawals. That doesn't mean that you're fully in withdrawals necessarily, but that can mean that your levels are abnormally low from what you're used to. They're lower than your tolerance should be, right? Nausea is not good. Once that happens, then it's a clear sign to stop taking whatever it is that's giving you. Where did I miss that comment? Yes. So I missed that comment. Jill says, I get nauseous and fatigue on subs. Yeah, so likely that's because your dose is too high, Jill. Jill, weren't you going to like switch up your doses or something, if I can remember right? Did you ever try to lower your doses, and did that change for you? Did that improve for you? Oh, because I remember she went from the generics to the, is that what it was? She went from the generics to the real ones? My doc only thinks I need 1 dose of 100 milligrams to be done. That seems fast, laugh out loud. Oh, where did the comment go? Okay. I've been on 2 milligrams for 4 years. So if you do some Google searching on one Sublocade shot or one Sublocade shot, there are studies out there. I have read these studies that there were a small group of people that did do just that. They took 100 milligram Sublocade shot and and they moved on, right, guys? I personally wouldn't want to do that, but it really depends, because there's some people that are just so fed up with this lifestyle and they want to move on right now. They don't want to drag this out any longer than they have to, and those are the people who I would say could and should try that. But I always recommend that somebody have a backup shot available. Maybe talk to your doctor and say, okay, doc, let's try this 100 milligram shot. But if it doesn't work, I want to know that I can call you and you can order up another shot and we can get another one in a week or so. Like, I would have that set up. That's definitely what I recommend to most people who want to try this one shot and be done. Yeah, I don't really recommend that most people do that, but it just really depends on where you're at in your recovery and how motivated you are, right? I do have a couple people on this channel that are in the middle of trying to do just that right now. What was his name? There is one guy I know that has gone like 4 or 5 months on 100 milligram Sublocade shot, maybe 2 guys now that I'm thinking about it. For you guys who are considering doing this one shot and moving on, go on Reddit. There are a lot of people on Reddit who talk about doing just that, okay? You can gain a lot of confidence with Sublocade by doing searches on Reddit and reading people's stories on Reddit. That was a huge thing for me when I switched over to Sublocade, guys, was to get on Reddit and read so many positive stories on there, to where between that and hearing my good buddy that I used drugs with for many years, how confident he was about Sublocade. I remember, guys, when I was on Suboxone, I was just thinking, there's no way I would dare to give up my Suboxone. I literally thought that, guys. I was like, I don't dare to give up that control. I really don't. And just hearing how confident he was that this was the right way, that made a huge difference for me. I was like, all right, because him and I had so many similarities with our addiction. We both tried Kratom. We both tried tapering Suboxone. We both went through 10, 15 years of opiate addiction together with Roxy's, etc. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I was not expecting to go for 2 hours here tonight, but, you know, we always do this. We always do this. Let's see here. Kev loves to spill the tea, and I'm here for it. Yes, he does. And my voice is already getting froggy from staying on here for so long. Let's see here. So, quick side note, guys. We have 17 people in here. Let me see how many likes we got. Did we get to 25 likes on this video yet? Let me take a quick look, guys. Let's see. We got to, you like my little sound effects? We got to 20 likes on this video, guys. We still have 20 people in here right now. I guarantee you there's 5 of us that haven't hit that like button, guys. Please try to get that likes up to 25 if we can, guys. We need to get this message out there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that like button, guys. I know we can get this over to 25 likes. Sonny S., I know you're going to give me one of those likes, baby. Good to see you, Sonny. Sonny is one of the people we were talking about earlier. Sonny's now been off Suboxone for, what is it, Sonny? About 2 years now? Let's see here. Okay. Yep, when they told me when I was originally started this in 2006 that it wasn't addictive. She laughs. I can't thank my doctor enough. Let's see. I never give him a hard time. He's the one who's been there for me. Also, don't bite the hand that gives you your meds. That's a great and true statement, Eric. I really feel blessed to have a doctor, guys, that lets me he literally, like, once he heard everything that I know about Suboxone Sublocade, the half-lives, testosterone levels, sex drive, buprenorphine levels, like constipation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I had this conversation with my doctor, and I could tell that he's probably never seen anybody like me, right? I think, honestly, after having many conversations with my doctor about this stuff, I don't want to say I'm smarter than my doctor, guys, but I feel like I know a lot about this medication, okay? Specifically Suboxone and Sublocade. But honestly, he literally lets me, I tell him when I want to come in for my next shot. He doesn't tell me come in every 30 days. As far as the dose, I tell him what dose I want to take, right? Literally last time we ordered the 100 milligram shot, I told him I want to take just 75 milligrams of that. So we drew a little line on the thing. We squirted out a little bit of it, and then I took 75 milligrams. He literally lets me run the show with my addiction, guys. And it sucks that not every doctor is going to actually, let me back up. It doesn't suck that all doctors can be that way, because not everybody sits on YouTube and Google and does all the research that I do all day. And I know most of you probably have actual lives, unlike me. I spend way too much time researching this stuff and looking at other people's experiences. So yeah, I should probably get a normal life one of these days and stop doing so much research on this stuff. Let's see here. Roberta, your message is gone. What happened? Good to see you in here, Roberta. I haven't seen you in here for a while. Let's see. I thought she posted something about she was on her 5th shot, but your comment vanished, Roberta. I don't know. It says it's retracted. I know that Roberta is on Sublocade as well, guys, and I think she was like right behind me as far as when she started, and I know that she's been doing great last I heard. So hopefully she's still kicking butt with her Sublocade, and hopefully she can share with some of you guys who are considering switching to Sublocade. Roberta, can you tell the people your opinion on Sublocade if you could? And it's good to see you in here. And for you guys that don't know, Roberta is Robin. Oh, she's right here. I'm on my 5th dose and still doing well. So did they switch you down to 100 milligram shots yet, Roberta? The Reddit forum is fantastic. Yes. Like I said, anybody considering Sublocade, please go do some research on the Reddit Sublocade forums, guys. There is some incredible information on there. Incredible stories on there as well. So King Within says we need 5 more. Smash that like button, y'all. Let's see here, guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hitting that like button. I know that it's probably not the funnest thing to do, but it's so simple. And we got to 23 likes, guys. We're 2 away from 25. I know we can get there. We can do it, especially since we've got 21 lovely ladies and gents in here right now, guys. We're 2 away from 25. Please smash that like button. So Sonny's going on 2.5 years, guys. That is incredible. And Sonny's always been checking in with us, letting us know how he's doing. He's been doing great ever since he got off. Peter says, I got energy every morning with my subs and with a coffee. It was a great morning pickup. Yeah, see, most people do get the little energy boost from Suboxone. And I know that that can be hard for your brain to want to let go of, right? Because if you associate positive things with that energy boost that you're getting from your Suboxone, then that's going to be a little bit challenging for our brains to want to get rid of that, right? I always smash the like button the moment I open a video of yours. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks, Zach. I never thought I would be here this far away after 7 years on it. So Sonny was one of the few that had a successful small dosage with Kratom to get off of Suboxone, guys. So he's one of the only ones I have ever heard that has been super duper strict with Kratom, using tiny doses of Kratom, like a couple capsules a day or something like that, just to get sleep at night, guys. So he is one of the rare that have not gone off the deep end with the Kratom addiction from Suboxone. So he's proof right there that it can be done. Sonny, if you could give the people a quick recap on not exactly, obviously that would take too long to post that, but maybe tell the people what dose of Suboxone you tapered down and about how much Kratom you had to use and for how long before you were able to move on. Hey, you know the dirty work we always can't. That's why we appreciate you. You do the dirty work we always can't. Yeah, Eric, I know that there's a lot of people out there that would love to make videos like this to try to help others going forward, but not everybody's in the position to do that, right? I mean, Sonny used to have a channel too, and for his work purposes, he had to get rid of it. So hopefully in the future, guys, there should be more people making videos, content like this. There are kind of a small handful of channels like this out there right now. But going forward, I definitely want to be the main person when it comes to Sublocade. If that happens, great. If not, then whatever. Just remember who was making videos first on Sublocade. I don't really think. I'm trying to think if there's any other content creators right now that are doing videos on Sublocade as far as they're actually on it. I know Luke said that he wants to get on it, and I hope that he does sometime so he can make videos on it as well. But do you guys know any other people who make regular videos about Sublocade? If so, please tell me, because I'm pretty sure I would have seen it right by now. People who were actually on it. There was a chick out there that has like glasses and like long brown hair. She made a few videos, but that's really the most I've kind of seen. So Roberta, guys, says right here, she says, I haven't taken any oral meds since I started. My doctor didn't want me to and did drug screen to make sure I didn't. So Roberta quit from day one, guys. And that's I think it's very doable if you have the right brain mindset for that. And just know that you will be covered by the shot. Your shot will give you more than enough. You just might not feel the spikes kicking in and falling off all day like you used to when you were on, not all day, but the times that you would take your oral Suboxone, you guys know you feel something an hour to 2 hours later, right? Just be ready for that to go away, and it should be pretty smooth sailing for the most part. So she did 2 300s and 3 100s. Okay, great. Are there any bad reactions with TRT and Suboxone or Sublocade? Danny asks. Absolutely not. No, I've been on TRT since I was 28 years old. So I've been on TRT for 13 years, guys. No issues using. And I actually had somebody ask if it was okay to work out while being on Suboxone or Sublocade. What? Yes, guys, work out. Shit, I was working out when I was high on 150 milligrams of Oxy back in the day. You could definitely work out when you're on Suboxone. I don't know why anybody would ever think that you can't work out while being on Suboxone, but please do so. Get your butt in the gym. You will feel better. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people need TRT once they're on Suboxone because it crushes your testosterone levels, especially if you're on higher doses, right? So talk with your doctor, have a simple blood test done. It's called CBC test. It's a very easy blood test to see where your testosterone levels are at, guys. If you're worried about this, or if you're having sex drive issues or sex performance issues, and you're on Suboxone, Sublocade, Kratom, opiates, etc., it's a simple blood test, guys, and TRT can make a huge difference with this stuff that we're talking about. Somebody says, I think the little amount of Kratom worked because I tapered for so long and low. I used 1.5 to 2 grams first 2 times a day at night. 1.5 to 2 grams the first 2 times a day and night. Then only at night for like 2 to 3 weeks, but I did suffer a little through the day. So I always found it easier too whenever I was going through Suboxone withdrawal, guys. It was always easier for me to suffer during the day, and then the nighttime was when I needed whatever I could have to help me get through the night, to get rid of the restless legs and the insomnia. I always say try to do whatever you can to get a good night's rest, or at least a few hours sleep. But if you're sitting there rolling around miserable all night, it's going to make things really challenging, guys. Not regulars, but there's a guy who did an excellent video saying it was the cure for the opioid epidemic. It was a fantastic video. I know who you're talking about, Brooke. He was the one that, the way he said Sublocade was like, I was trying not to laugh at him because I'm not trying to be rude, but he was like, Sublocade. Is that the guy you're talking about? Yeah, I seen that video, I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was like, my man, is that the guy who you're talking about though? He was like, Sublocade. Or he said it something like that. And it was just like, no. And he just did one video, right? Is that who you're talking about, Brooke? I think I know exactly who you're talking about. He was like, I met some guy at the gas station and he told me about Sublocade and it just saved my life. And he was just going on about it for a while. I think I know exactly what video you're talking about. That's okay though, guys. I don't mean to poke fun at somebody that says Sublocade, but I know some people make fun of me how I say Suboxone, right? So a lot of people say it's Suboxone. And I always, for whatever reason, my brain says Suboxone. I'm just reading it off the package. Yeah, that's who. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, I seen that video. I'm pretty sure I've seen all the Sublocade videos and all the Suboxone videos too. I think so. And he was also on antidepressants. Yep. Kingdom, I'm an atheist, but I sub to your channel. I find theology interesting. Yeah, see, guys, it's like, it's cool how we can all kind of like just support each other, right? Like we have different religions still coming together to support Kingdom Within, right? Like it's not, and he talks about all kinds of different religions on his channel, just kind of deep diving into each one of them. So, I mean, it's cool. It's just cool to see how we build a little family here in other random people's YouTube streams, right? And then people, I've seen so many people from my channel go not only be supporting Kingdom Within, but like they're moderators in his channel. So it's just cool to see how we all we build little families within families here in random YouTube channels like this. It's freaking awesome, guys. It's cool to see that we're still so small. Like it's just cool to see everybody kind of growing slowly together. Can you explain? My throat is getting dry from talking so much, guys. We might have to end this here in a little bit. I first said that we weren't going to go over an hour, and here we are at 2 hours and 3 minutes. Can you explain briefly what Sublocade is and what's the difference from Suboxone for those like me who just heard about this right now for the first time? What, Danny? Oh, wow. That's a huge question. To try to make that question simple is when you're on Suboxone, you have to take a medication every single day. Basically, Sublocade is a, quote, once a month injection that goes in your belly, and it slowly releases your Suboxone through your belly, right? Over a month or two per shot. My last shot, I skipped 2 full months between shots, and I just went in for another one. So basically, it helps you rewire your brain to get out of the daily habit of having to take something, which is keeping you stuck in your addiction, right? If you're having to do this every day, then you're not living a free life, I guess you could say. If you get on Sublocade, then that helps you start to rewire your brain to get out of that addiction mindset, right? And it also slowly wears out of your system through many months into the future. And it has been said that it has a much less, or doesn't have a withdrawal from, which anybody who's been on Suboxone, who has tried to taper Suboxone, we mostly all know that it is a very challenging thing to get off of Suboxone, right? To do it manually. So it has been said by many that Sublocade has much less withdrawals, and some people say that it has no withdrawals, right? I had a doctor on this channel who looked us all straight in the eye and said that there's no withdrawal from it. So I have yet to go through that yet. So if you guys are curious if I personally have a withdrawal from Sublocade, make sure that you subscribe and keep coming around for more information in the future, because I am nearing the end of my Sublocade treatment, all things considered. I've now been on it for about 5 months, a little over 5 months. Yeah, guys. So hopefully you can, if you want to, you can go look at some more videos. I do a lot of videos deep diving into Sublocade and my experience with it. So I'll say a lot of people on this channel are switching from Suboxone to Sublocade, and they're really enjoying it as well. Most people. It seems like about 90% of people that do the switch, once they stabilize, they're so free. It's like the newest awesome thing in their life, right? They're super free. They're super happy to be free of that daily dosing. So yeah. Sonny S, I appreciate the sub, my guy. Yeah, I've been impressed to see Sonny S coming around for so long, even after he's been off of Suboxone for so long. Most people kind of just go on with their own life, but Sonny has always came back. Sonny's one of my probably oldest subscribers from way back in the Rock and Roberta days. If you guys know who Rock and Roberta is, she's the reason that this channel exists, my channel exists. She died in a house fire 2 years ago, guys. She does have a YouTube channel still with some videos on there. I can't talk about that too long before it starts to make me get upset. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. So Roberta says, Roberta, this is a different Roberta in the comments section. She says, I'm determined to do this. I'm getting my life back. Plus, I'll be the first in my doctor's office. They're really counting on me. That is awesome. That is very awesome. You know, I actually hear a lot of that situation is kind of it's kind of happening a lot. You know, I actually reached out to Dr. Chris Park, who also has a YouTube channel, and he runs an addiction clinic, guys. I don't know if it's specifically just for addiction. No, I think he's actually a family doctor as well. But I had asked him, I said, are you having more people come in for the Sublocade shot? And he still says, there's still not a lot of people that dare to make the change, guys. And he prescribed Suboxone for a lot of people, right? So in certain parts of the country, Sublocade is still barely even breaking onto the scene, guys. So you guys are hearing it first right here on the Kickin' Addiction YouTube channel that Sublocade is the future of medically assisted treatment, guys. I'm guaranteeing you this. Sublocade or Suboxone was the gold standard when it comes from going from methadone to Suboxone, right? A lot of people looked at that as a huge upgrade, right? Because it has the opioid blocker, right? You can no longer take Suboxone and go get high right there because it's going to be blocking you, right? When you take the shot, that's that much more committed you are. You can't pull the shot out of your stomach and go get high next weekend. That being said, you can sell your prescription of Suboxone. My doctor just said, he said, this is the reason we don't even drug test, because when you get Suboxone, you can go sell it and you can go get your drug of choice, right? When you're on Sublocade, you can't do that anymore. You're much more committed to your recovery. So Once the cost of Sublocade comes down, meaning that when the generic version comes out in probably 2 to 3 years from now, once that happens and once more channels like mine get out there and once more people out there start sharing their Sublocade experience, that's what's going to switch from more people going from Suboxone to Sublocade, guys, right? I'm seeing it happen. It is slowly happening, but it is happening. Remember this video in about 5 years. If somebody's watching this on the replay 5 years from now, go ahead and let me know if I was right. I guarantee you guys a lot more people are going to be switching to Sublocade. I 100% guarantee it. Remember, guys, that Sublocade was created in 2017, so it's really still relatively new, and it's a very expensive medication, right? Suboxone has been around since 2002. Suboxone is just an old, outdated medication. It still works for many people, but there are better ways, right? I'm sure Kev will be the first to let us know what issues arise. Absolutely, guys. If for some reason I end up getting to the end of the Sublocade road and it ends up being just as bad as my Suboxone withdrawal was, I will be the first person to get on here and let each and every one of you know what you can expect, okay? But honestly, guys, in the bottom of my heart, I don't believe it's going to be like that. I really don't. And I hope that I'm not wrong, but I don't know yet. I haven't been there, right? But what I do know is that I went 2 full months between paying my addiction any attention, basically. I got a shot, I waited 2 months, and then I got another shot. And I was totally fine the whole time, guys. I could have went further, but I had my appointment scheduled, and I don't want to keep rescheduling on my doctor, right? My next shot, I'll probably push out to 10 weeks. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do for my last shot. No doubt, Kev. Let's remain humble even when we gain 100,000 more subs. Absolutely, dude. You know it. You know it, buddy. We'll all remember these days. Remember where our roots came from. I'm terrible in chat. I know from there. I'm terrible in chat. I know from there. What side effects did you personally have from subs? Do you feel better on the shot in general? Yes, I do feel a lot better. The side effects, most people are going to have constipation issues from both. I have had sexual side effects from both. However, it seemed like it was a little bit worse on Suboxone, just because the Sublocade shot gives you just a little bit around the clock rather than having the peaks and the fall-offs each day. I feel a lot more normal being on the Sublocade shot. Like, I don't even feel like I'm on a medication, to be honest with you guys, and I've said this before. Sorry for repeating myself. You never feel it kick in and fall off, so you feel like you're a more stable human being, right? When I was on Suboxone, every day I had this happen once the dose kicked in, and then it was like fall off. And then I'll take my second dose, spike again, fall off. When you're on Sublocade, this is how you feel all day and all night. You no longer have this going on. And why does that happen? Because of the half-life differences. The Suboxone half-life is 35 hours. Sublocade half-life is 45 to 60 days, guys. So while it is the same medication, essentially, the half-life is why it's such a different experience. Jenny says, has anyone gone from Sublocade back to Suboxone? I'm on month 4 of 300 milligrams Sublocade, and I plan on going to Suboxone next week. I've just felt so tired and not myself from switching. Jenny, is there a reason that you haven't tried going down to 100 milligrams? Is it possible that you're over-medicated? I know that a lot of people, some people I should say, they feel over-medicated from the Sublocade shot, like it's too much. So I wonder if that's a possibility in your situation, Jenny. Most doctors will only do the 300 milligram shot twice, and that's because your blood levels get so high. If you keep taking a 300 milligram Sublocade shot every month, your blood levels are going to keep climbing, guys, due to the half-life. And that's why the drug manufacturer recommends you take 300 milligrams, then you go all the way down to 100 milligrams, because those 300 milligram shots are still built up in your system once you get that 100 milligram shot. I will never forget Rockin' Roberta. Yeah, I don't think anybody could that was friends with her, Sonny. I agree, buddy. Yes, and no daily clinics. That's a huge thing. Yeah, no clinics. I can't tell you how many times I was embarrassed to go pick up my Suboxone because I felt like I was being judged by the pharmacist guys. It's just embarrassing to do that. I no longer have to get drug tests now that I'm on Sublocade. I no longer have to get prescriptions. I don't have to go to the MAT meetings. And when you first start in MAT, guys, you have to go in like, what is it, once a week? That's too much for me personally. I don't need that. I've been sober off painkillers since 2017. The last thing I'm going to do is go relapse, right? That's the last thing I want to do is go all the way back to that lifestyle. I'm on day 29 off of subs. I was unaware of Sublocade. Kev, how long did you make it off of subs on your previous attempts? Well, Christopher, if you made it this far, I would definitely not go on Sublocade. If you're on 29 days, just keep going, my friend. That's what I would say about that. How long did I make it off? I don't remember, guys. It's been so long. If I had to guess, I would say 2 or 3, 4 months, somewhere around there. It was like back in, I think it was 2019, was the longest time that I was off of Suboxone. And then I went through a traumatic breakup, and I had to move across state to a different state, and I had to start my business from scratch. Those 3 things all happened at once, guys. If you can imagine going through all those 3 things all at once, I was extremely overwhelmed and exhausted and stressed. And so that's what led me to get back on Suboxone. It was 3 major life events happening all at once. I had to leave a girl behind that I really, really loved. She moved with me to Idaho from Utah, and she stayed there, and I came back here to start my business. So that sucked. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much more about that. So Roberta says, I was tired on the 300 milligram injection, but more energy on the 100 milligram injection. So yeah, so see, some people can be over medicated by the 300 milligram injection. So I think it's important for some people to think and to know how their body reacts on buprenorphine, on higher doses and lower doses, right? Because some people can be tired and they can mistake that for being too low on their dose when they're actually too high. So it's just going to be different for everybody, guys. And it's up to you to know what your body feels like with higher doses of Suboxone versus lower doses of Suboxone. And then hopefully your doctor can get your transition dose to as close to as he can, right? There's always going to be some type of transition when it comes to switching medications. It's not just always going to be 100% smooth, right? So be patient with these medications. I remember when I got on Suboxone, it wasn't like it was just perfect, easy. I had to figure out the right dose and then stabilize on it. Like there was a transition just to even to get on Suboxone for me personally. Danielle says, I would love to switch from Suboxone to Sublocade, but I'm so scared I'll crave the Suboxone. Danielle, all of us were the same way, and you really don't know until you experience it, right? And if you're really ready to move on from the Suboxone grind, the daily grind of Suboxone, then I promise you it will work if you give it a shot and you put forth trust and faith in this medication, right? I would say 90+% of people that I've personally seen make the switch have done so gracefully, right? I also was afraid that I was going to crave the Suboxone, and I did a few times for the first month, right? But once you get stabilized on the Sublocade shot, once you put faith in that medication, and just roll with what you get. If you really want it, I promise it's not as hard as you think it will be. I promise you. And once you guys get stabilized, it literally maybe took me, once I made the permanent decision to burn my Suboxone, it literally only took me 1 to 2 weeks max, guys, max, before I stopped thinking about Suboxone. I don't even think about it anymore. I really don't. And I haven't thought about it for a long time, guys. So I'll just say that for what it is. Good night, Zach. Good to see you, man. I got to get out of here too, guys. It's been so freaking long. We have gone so long. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here, guys. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any huge comments real quick here. I'm addicted to taking Suboxone every day. We all are, and we all were, Danielle. We all were, and we all are, right? If you're tired of taking Suboxone every day and you're ready to move on, that's why I tell everybody, guys, is if you love the way that you feel when your Suboxone kicks in, then you might really miss that, and there's a huge void once you get on Sublocade. But if you're over that feeling and it's just not that cool to you anymore, then you're really ready to move on, then consider Sublocade, guys. That's as easy as I can say it. I was freaked out that I would never be able to stop doing the oral medication. Once I put those Suboxones in the fire, it was 1 to 2 weeks and I was good to go. Hey guys, I appreciate, we had a last second Venmo come in from Roberta. She just sent a $10 Venmo. Let me see if she sent a message here. She just said thank you. So shout out to you, Roberta, and I appreciate the last second Venmo donation. I really, really appreciate your support too. You've been kind to me, and I'm happy that you keep coming back and sharing your Sublocade experience with us to tell other people that you're doing good as well going forward. Okay, so shout out to everybody who sent a Venmo, Cash App, or Super Chat today. I will be thanking each and every one of you on the Wednesday live stream. So if you guys want to watch more videos like this, if you guys want to have a similar conversation, we'll be on the Wednesday live stream, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 4 p.m. Central, which is 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 2 p.m. California people time. So we do Wednesday live streams every Wednesday, guys. So if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscription button, hit that like button, and hit the notification bell unless you want to try to remember when we go live, because if you watch this stuff on the replay, then you're going to have to watch the commercials that YouTube throws at you guys. All right? I love each and every one of you. Please keep the faith, keep the hope going forward, guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Bye, guys. Later. Peace.